Alright guys, we're back with the round 2 of this tournament now. I am, again, recording this post-commentary, and I didn't do my usual intro because what's the point when this is a part 2? Alright, so we're starting off with me winning the coin flip, but let me tell you, this is going to be insane what's about to happen here. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but trust me, watch to the end. You will be blown away by not only how kind somebody in the community can be, but also with the struggle. I'll put it that way, the struggle that I've went through, fighting against my own deck. Because I was not expecting to see Night Striker. Typically, I have seen a lot of people play the Psychic deck. I've also seen the Water deck a lot. The one that has the Gyarados, because Gyarados can sweep insanely. Like, I don't usually think of, in terms of the TCG versus, like, the game, in terms of sweepers and tanks and all that. But it's a sweeper. Alright, so, as you can see, I opened up with this little cutie here, my Teddy Ursa, and they're opening with a Zorua. I'm basically going to be doing just a little bit of basic commentary on this as it goes along. I'm probably not going to call every shot, but I'm just going to talk to you guys. So, what happened this time was I went in off of a win where I kind of had a lot of confidence. I was feeling arrogant. I was feeling cocky. And I forgot one thing, one very important thing. I have 0 luck. I never get the cards I want. It's very unusual for that to happen. It's very unusual for me to have a lot of mana. Despite being somebody who loves the TCG and will probably be right on it as soon as I'm done with this recording, I'm actually somebody who is terrible at it. The only reason that last person thought I was any good, in my honest opinion, is because they were new. And I kind of had an idea of a strategy because I'm not as new. I'm still new, I like to think. I've only been actually playing the TCGO, like, competitively. Air quotes, competitively. I say that, but basically versus actual people for less than a year. In fact, only about as long as I've had my PokeTube. Because I'm a chicken. I'm a giant chicken. I'll be the first to say that. I am not good with stuff like this. I get really nervous when I go into PvP on any game. Be it WoW, be it League, be it this. I get extremely nervous, and it's very hard to talk me into doing that because of how scared I am to look like an idiot. Just how I am. I don't mean to be this way, guys, but it happens. So, essentially, I got a little arrogant here. I thought, well, I got my Noivern right away, and my first thought was, I'm gonna win. There's no way I can't win, because how would I not win? Noivern is my sweeper. I'm sure I'll have plenty of energy. All I need is, to just keep pulling and stall until I can get a fairy energy and another dark put on it and have some, stashed away. My brain did not think about the fact that something could happen to my Noivern. It just didn't cross my mind. So, we kind of sit here for a minute. I sort of think about what I'm doing. He thinks about what he's doing. Clearly, we're both deep in thought. And I'm kind of at this point looking at this guy's hair and going, come on, you look like you're out of Dragon Ball Z, but with a mullet. Or a rat tail, or whatever you want to call that. And I'm thinking his avatar is kind of goofy looking. But in reality, I'll be honest, even with a goofy avatar, this guy is pretty kick-ass. He knows how to work this deck. I feel like he might, he might have more experience with it than me. And yes, you see, I get the Fisherman Trainer, which is a staple to this deck. It really is, because you are going to be mana starved if you're going to get to your Noivern. you are going to need every energy. I keep calling it mana. I've been thinking about Magic the Gathering a lot. But you're going to need, or maybe that wasn't Magic the Gathering. Maybe I'm just thinking about Magic in general. Anyway, off topic. Back on track. You definitely need that because Noivern loses an energy every single time you use its only actual attack. It has turning, which is cool and all that. I mean, it really is. Turning is great. However, what is not great about turning is that sometimes you can click it by mistake. See, that's another thing about playing the TCGO. Online is great because it's convenient and I can play with people over the world, all that, yada yada. The issue is that sometimes you will misclick. And if you click turning and you have a hand that you have been wanting, you can mess up your whole game. That can lose you a game. Trust me, I know I've been there enough times to know. So anyway, my general strategy for going up against this guy was, again, like I said in the beginning here, stall. Stall as much as I can because I know how this deck works. I know this deck like the back of my hand. And I know that it's going to be a complete issue. So, essentially, he knocks out Krilla with like one shot. And I yawn here, sorry about that. And I bring out my Noivern, going, well, he's tanky. He's tanky, and I can play my Fisherman, I can get all of the energy I'm gonna need. And right here, I think I've won the game. I'm gonna tell you, right here is where I get it in my head, I've won. I win, he loses. So I think. And I toss off one of my Dark Energy, because we have more Dark Energy than Psychic at this point. And get Haunter. But we do not have Ghastly out, so there's no point in it. It's just gonna sit in my hand for a while. So now he has Noibat. Cute little Noibat. He's currently does not have Noivern, but I'm sure that's what he's building towards. I'm sure that's what he wants. As he also plays Fisherman to get some of his energy cards back, and pretty much pulls the same hand as I do. So, I gotta tell you guys, like I said, I get overconfident way too quickly, and it can be a serious mistake. Now, I want you to look right here and see how I'm starting to get full of mana. Or energy. I keep saying mana. I'm full of energy right here. I have so much energy. I'm thinking this is it. This is a clean sweep. I'm down to 3 cards. I get another thing for energy. This is looking great. What could possibly go wrong? And this is where you see where it's about to go wrong. So keep an eye on what he does here. I'm still shaking my head at my own arrogance. I have banked everything in this Noivern. This Noivern is the only thing standing between me and loss. And here's what happens. He pulls Zoroark. Remember before when I told you about Zoroark? Yeah, you saw that right. Mind Jack. Mind Jack does 30 damage for each of my benched Pokemon. And I had a full bench, like a complete tool that I am. I had a full bench. And this is the point where I'm thinking, I've lost. I know I've lost at this point. I know I have gotten arrogant and cocky, and there's no way I'm going to get another Noivern in time to win this. He's about to sweep me. So all I can do is confuse him. That's all I can think to do. And just pray. Just pray. Pray to any deity at this point that it's not going to go as bad as I thought. And it does. It continues to go bad. As you can tell. Confused or not, he knocks out my Zorua. And now I get desperate. I'm like, oh, what can I do? Wobbuffet could last a while. Maybe I can stall with Wobbuffet. I put him out. And I'm like, well, I have 2 Anke, I have, let's see, what do I have out here? I have Inky, I have Mr. Blah Blah, I have Wobbuffet, and I have Rolts. And my Wobbuffet's doing nothing, it can't even do a mirror barrier. And I'm thinking, you've got to be my stall, boy. You've got to stall for me. But he's not. He puts another energy on. He's not confused, takes that, and bam, down I go. Now I know why he's going to put more energy on it. It's smart. It's very smart to do that. Because if he can get that Zoroark back into his bench for free, basically, with the 2 energy on it that it needs for what it needs to do with the Mind Jack, he can unconfuse it, and I've got nothing to confuse it. And right now I'm weighing my options. I'm looking back and forth. And Pokénight is actually over my shoulder at this point, watching me stream this for him via Skype. And he's got pretty much the same thought in his head of, Kitty, you've lost. Like, I know he tends to have a lot of high hopes for me, but at this point even he's like, you've kind of lost the tournament. And I put out Ghastly, planning on, if he switches out, that I'm going to try to use Ghastly to win this. Because if I can get up to Gengar, I could start poisoning everything. I could start doing damage to the ones on his benches. You know, definitely would be easy to weaken him up. So he switches his Zoroark, I believe. This is where he retreats it. Puts out Noibat for like 1 second. Does stand in. Immediately brings it back. Which I think is a very, it's very talented. It's a very smart idea. I cannot stop praising this guy. I'm sorry. It's just what I do. I praised him because he did such a good job against me here. Like, he had me, you know, completely, like, almost in tears because I knew I had lost. And I was like, how am I ever going to face my channel with this loss? So I sleep poison his Zoroark as a ditched effort. And I'm like, oh, here it is. Here we go, guys. It's gonna happen. And I'm like, well, it's a good game at least. It was a very good game. And then this happens. He says, I played well. And I'm about to say, thank you. And I wanted to congratulate him. Thinking, well, you know, what's he got to lose? What have I got to lose? Except for the entire thing. And then he does something so unexpected. And it was very kind. And you'll see it pop up in a minute. He tells me to win the tournament. Even though he's 1 card away and could have one-shot me here, he gives me the victory. So, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe for more content and follow me on Twitter so I can tweet at you night and day. Later, haters.